I'm trying to put myself in like Zenzo's shoes. Like, hey, I'm finally up in the show. It was a small cup of coffee. You know, I'm doing everything right. There's clear. I can get playing time in the outfield, and then you do all that, and then you go, hey, our face of the franchise, Hall of Famer, is moving from second base to go to left field. He's got to be thinking. I mean, I know he's an ultra competitor, but as a human being, you're just like, damn it, what do I have to do?
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Diamond Podcast here on the Apollo Podcast Network. Brian Lalima, Apollo Des, producer Josh behind the camera. Boys, spring training rolling along. Altuve's been in left field. Cam Smith hitting pretty well. Lance McCullers made a start, if you will, to some live hitters. Luis Garcia inching his way back. Jake Myers has got like 2 hits, maybe a couple. Anyway, we're getting closer and closer to the start of the regular season. What's
almost
up,
the
fellas?
halfway point?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Halfway point of spring training?
Yeah.
Three dogs on a pod.
3 dogs. Yeah. 3 dogs in a pod. The Astros are 5-5 in spring training. Not like any of that matters, but yeah, interesting kind of seeing everything come together. I think the pitchers look good so far.
Yeah.
Renaud Blanco looks really good.
Framber Getty is spinning the ball or some shit. He's doing some crazy stuff. Good.
I sent Brian refused to read what I sent him yesterday. So
I read the first like paragraph and a half, and then I stopped. So I didn't see the depth and
I'll pull it up.
Vertical and horizontal differences between this year and then
Y
last
axis.
year.
It was from the Twitter account.
Was it
at @orangefire_ breathing orange fire? Great piece on just Spencer taking the next step, and that's kind of what I kind of gave that hot take. He's getting Cy Young votes.
You said it multiple times.
I've said it since December. Now people are like
you're
parroting it
on that.
But
I mean, it's weird because I said it in November and like you stole it like you always do. You steal all my lines, all my takes, everything. Is this real?
Yes,
it is. Okay.
So there's a line in this article, and we'll link it below. But this was kind of a bar. He goes, "This was not a reinvention. This is a refinement." And talking about Spencer's just steps on his secondary pitches. I mean, we saw he can hell or high water. He's gonna get his 8 to 9 strikeouts. It doesn't matter if he gives up 9 or gives up 1. But with everything else in his arsenal stepping up, and he has that front end mentality that we talked about on this podcast, like he's an absolute psycho dog that you need from your front end pitchers. Everything else steps up with his secondary stuff. We got a solid 1, 2, 3, 4 all of a sudden, and then you have hopefully the reinforcements behind that. Hayden looks really good. I think he has. I mean, obviously he was probably amped up that first Astros spring training start where he got touched up a bit, but I think he has like 6 strikeouts over his last 3 innings.
The ball's spinning. That's what's important.
Yeah.
So
Eric Getty throws bowling balls already, and if he's adding depth to his current arsenal, that's only gonna make his arsenal even better. I mean, we saw it down the stretch last year. Every outing, 8, 9, 8, 8, 9, 9, like just nothing but 6, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts.
And I think too, the thing with Spencer that we talked about all since he broke was his tunnel on his pitches are already really good, just being a rookie last year on the show. But now in the Substack from Orange Fire, he talked about it. The sweeper up to this point this year has more horizontal break, increased from 10.5 inches to 11. His reply in this Substack, that may not seem drastic when you hear that, but at his velocity, at 1/2 inch of extra break can be the difference between a barrel and a whiff.
Yeah.
He already gets whiffs, so that's a step forward. The curveball has a tighter horizontal approach angle, which should help in the tunnel better off with his fastball, making it even tougher for hitters to track. We saw that with Judge, just absolutely buckled him. And then the changeup, more lateral movement, giving an extra weapon against lefties. I think that was one of the biggest things we've seen for Astros pitchers in development is the young guys have had trouble when they came up against lefties. We saw it with Hunter. We saw it with Spencer. But they've been quick in the lab to, okay, we're going to develop this pitch to be a neutralizing pitch. And I don't know if that's just the Astro way or the lab or some veterans that have been given it over the last, 4, 5, 6 years. But Astros have tend to neutralize lefties with changeups. And you get that with Spencer, riding top shelf 94, 95. That is a solid number 3, number 4 starter that teams would take in a heartbeat to put as their number 2.
Yeah, you think of the 10 and a half. Wait, it was 10 and a half to 11 inches, right?
Yeah.
You think
On
about
the sweeper.
that half inch, and like they mentioned this in this article, that may not seem like it's not very drastic, but you got to think of a bat path on a sweeper. Even if a guy gets out in front of it and he still keeps his hands back enough, if it's 10 and a half compared to 11, that half inch, imagine a half inch on a barrel compared to the end of the bat. That's either some firewood or it could be a little blooper somewhere else. Or it could be a barrel, or that half inch could now become some kind of jam shot, roll over, double play ball, inning over. So you think out of just reading that, oh, half inch, what could that even mean? But then you think about the tunnel that it's coming from, you think about the arm angle, you think about the break on it. Yeah, you think about all of that, and you got to think about barrel, bat path, plate coverage, and the difference of barrel, cap, or even in on the hands. That's a double play ball waiting to happen.
And I think Spencer can also lean on Hunter, because I think really early on, Hunter had just that weird bad luck of soft contact that a squibbler down the line against a shift ended up being a double.
Yeah, how many times?
What I mean?
How many times have we in our group text we talk about? My God, he's getting soft contact to hell, like soft contact to death.
So Spencer now taking that next step forward in his progression of becoming a top end guy can lean on Hunter and be like, hey, if Spencer has the first, April and May of just soft contact, death by 1,000 cuts, knock on wood that doesn't happen, but he can lean on someone, hey, this is what you can do because I've already lived through that. And that's what I think makes the Astros so special, that everyone that comes up, Hunter Brown is the ace apparent, right? He's going to learn from Framber, who's probably departing in the offseason. He'll learn how to become an ace, right? So then Spencer's going to have to learn, hey, how do I become the number 2 of the front end rotation guy? And then you have a Ronel Blanco who's just like, hey, I'm a horse. I'm going to go give you 150 innings, and hell or high water, I'll be a stabilizer in this rotation. So I'm through 10 games of spring training. I really like the pitching.
Let me ask you something. Would you put $50 on Spencer Getty to lead the league in strikeouts?
50? Yeah, I'd put 50 on it.
How much do you think that would win you?
To find a book to have those odds is crazy.
Yeah,
So you found a book that has the odds. A 50 for Spencer.
Is it plus? Is it over plus?
It's got to be plus 3,000.
Okay, so I was going to say 2,500 plus 2,500 over that.
Plus 15,000.
Oh wow.
So hold on, 50 gets you
7,500.
Yeah, I'd put 50.
$50 to win 7,500.
We're all putting 50.
I'd put it 50
yeah,
now.
we're all.
I feel like
I'd
it's
put
kind of I like at least $10. Like it's kind of worth the flyer.
50
Like
down.
win a couple like $10 wins you $1,500.
Yeah, I'd
I
put
mean,
50 now.
it's gonna be Scooble, Crochet,
Yeah.
Spencer.
Is that in? We're talking about just the American League, right? Not in all of baseball, or is that
I think this is his odds for all of baseball.
okay? Because you got to think Skenes will be up there too.
Yeah. That's if it's
Yeah,
AL. I'll
It took
take
me
those
a bit
odds.
to find a
If it's AL, I would be up there.
Scooble
'Cause
had
who led it
220
last year? Scooble.
Scooble had 228 last year. I think Lugo maybe did.
yeah.
Lugo was really good for Kansas City.
No, Lugo was 181. I think it was
And
just
then where
Scooble
was-
won the Triple Crown. Yeah.
Where was Garrett Crochet? God, Garrett Crochet probably has to be the happiest dude in all of baseball to not be playing with the White Sox this year.
Right now it's Paul Skenes at plus
Yeah, I
425
figured
and
Skenes would be
Crochet
up
at plus 700.
Crochet was 6-12 last year with a 3.58 ERA with 209 strikeouts.
I think Spencer can get.
I think Spencer's over 200 threshold.
I think he can get over 200.
So talking about Paul Skenes, did y'all by chance see the video of behind the catcher catching him?
Did you see he was not throwing a cutter?
I was gonna say what who the hell taught him that and why?
So he's throwing
It is
top shelf
disgusting.
101, cutter at 96, the splinker at 92, and then everything else. He's just, golly, must be nice.
And the cutter that he threw to that lefty
Must
in
be
spring
nice.
training.
People forget
It was absolutely filthy.
people forget he's wanted for treason. He left the Air Force Academy for NIL money. People, what? I mean, I don't make the rules. The Bill of Rights did, dude.
Hey, he did, man.
Just saying. I'm just saying, if the Astros play the Pirates and he's game 1 of the World Series, then I'm gonna be like,
There's an agenda where
we need to step in, the United
Yeah.
States government, because he's wanted for treason.
Yeah. Like, hello, did he finish his timeout? Shouldn't he be serving right now?
Yeah, he should at least have a hearing. That
Yeah,
day.
that's like
Yeah, dude.
he cannot pitch in the World
No, he
Series.
cannot. No, he cannot pitch game 1. He's really freaking
You know who's
good.
throwing game 1 though? Framber Valdez.
You think you're going to get back to the World Series?
Oh, I just meant.
Oh, you mean
day.
opening day?
Opening day.
Yeah.
The last Framber opening day. Most
has
likely.
he thrown spring training yet?
He threw
Yeah, he threw
yesterday.
yesterday.
He had 3
He's thrown
punching.
twice.
I missed
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah, he's thrown twice. Thrown well both times.
I think
Dude, if you just get consistent Framber, he's going to win you 12 games at the minimum.
Okay, Framber being Framber, right? We know the ups and downs, all of it. When he's on, he's one of the best in the league. When he's off, he's still better than a lot of people. But a motivated Framber Valdez on a contract year, like I feel like I'm taking crazy pills that I want to bet on him to win the Cy Young.
Yeah,
like
but
if there's any year he's going to win the Cy Young,
saying
it's the
three Astros get Cy Young votes.
So
Is that where you're going after?
I'm so bought in, dude.
When it-
95 win team. Jesus.
when it comes to Framber Valdez, like, dude, I just had deja vu. We say this every year because of how good his stuff is.
He just goes through those stretches where he... Yeah.
Is he going to be motivated? Is he going to be locked in? Is he not going to go rogue? Like all these different variables.
God, I forgot he went rogue.
Yeah, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is every year. We say this every year. Is he going to get Cy Young votes? He probably will. Is he going to stay locked in? Well, he'll stay locked in for the most part, but there'll be those games where he's cruising until like the third or fourth inning. He walks a guy and then a blooper here. And next thing you know, there's runners on first and second, no outs, and he's freaking out on the mound. And there's a big inning.
I am, if I'm Joe Spada, I am posting all the clips of Max Fried's contract that the Yankees just gave, and I'm just putting that all in his locker and be like, if you want $218 million, I need you to lock in every single game. And a motivated Framber that is going to get a ton of money in the offseason, not in Houston. I don't know. I feel like he's going to ball out. I mean, when he's on, I thought he definitely could have been the World Series MVP in 2022.
Yeah, you could have made a case.
So
he was the only guy that won twice, right? Didn't he win?
Won twice
in the World Series?
Yeah, won twice.
Yeah, because he started Game 6.
Yeah.
And I think
won. And he won
14 innings.
Yeah,
Game 2.
He had 2 wins in the World Series. You could have given it to him. I don't know. I think we talk about this all the time, every single year. What Framber are you going to get? And even when he's 80%, he's still better than 90% of the league on the mound.
Better than a lot.
He's that good. He induces ground ball after ground ball. So, but he's looked good so far in spring training. Lance McCullers Jr. faced some live hitters over the weekend. Got up to 95. I think he threw 20, 25 pitches. Faced Myers, faced Christian Walker and Singleton.
He punched out Singleton and Walker.
Yeah, and Christian Walker said his stuff looked good. So that's a good milestone to hit for Lance McCullers Jr. He's gonna get some games under his belt at AAA, so he won't be ready for opening day with the big league slot.
All the fans that are not chronically online, like all of us, do not freak out when he starts in Sugarland and goes 2 to 3 starts down there. Like, I don't want to see it on Twitter. I don't want to see all the bitching and moaning. Just let him go. Like, there's a process, and he's on the better side of that process now. And just let him finish it, get ramped up, and shit by middle of April, end of April.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Fangraphs right now. He's projected 96 innings this year. That's a lot of innings.
I mean, if he can get to 100 or over 100, that's a big time win for him.
Yeah.
And obviously for the team too, because when he's on, he's good. Like, I think people forget that. And that's what, what have you done for me lately? Well, the last time he was in an Astros uniform and pitching, he got barreled all the way around in the World Series against the Phillies in Philadelphia. Obviously, he's gotten hurt. He hasn't pitched, hasn't played. So that's what people remember. But when he's on, he's healthy. He's pretty damn good.
The last full season, obviously 22.
He didn't pitch.
He didn't pitch. 21 was the last full season, right?
Yeah.
3.4 WAR. He went 13-5. 3.16 ERA. 162 innings. That is 185 punchies.
Yeah.
People forget.
Yeah, people forget.
But came back through 47 innings in 2022 for 1.4 WAR.
And
if he throws 100 innings and he's a 2 WAR guy,
he's still relatively young. Like, obviously he's had these
29.
He's had all these injury issues or whatever. He's still relatively young. If you look at the Charlie Morton trajectory, he could pitch another 10 years. Yeah. Like he could have a long career after this. Yeah. But everybody's kind of written him off, which is understandable with what he's gone through. Like, I don't blame any fan for being upset about.
But being upset now, like when it's clearly like you're 3 weeks away from the season starting and 3 weeks.
But from talking
him coming
shit
back,
when he's like about to pitch for your team, just seems like, all right, it's time to move on. It's time to like look forward to what he can give you this year, and just hope that it's good.
That's a tall task for Astros Twitter.
Yeah. No, it's asking a lot.
What a fucking nightmare.
It's a lot.
Let's move on to a positive.
Yeah. Cam Smith. Is that where you wanted to move on to?
No.
Yeah, so Cam Smith, the Astros' #1 prospect, has been hitting extremely well. Small sample size. In spring training. So far during spring training, 571 batting average, a triple, 2 home runs, 6 RBI, 4 walks, just 1 strikeout. I think
the walks are impressive, too.
He's had 7. So this was what? This was 18 hours ago, right? And this is coming from our guy, Jimmy, at Astros Future. Does a fantastic job at what he does. Jimmy's a good dude and does really good work.
Kills it.
For the minor league system. I believe he's had, 7 at-bats, OPS of 2.414. Again.
I love spring training.
I do too. Small sample size, but the barrel, dude, the power.
I mean,
we know the size. We know that he plays third base. We've also read and heard that he can play the outfield. He has not played the outfield yet in spring training. But, man, just the small sample size.
I mean, the walks are what do it for me. Because he could be coming out, free swinging, hit a couple tanks, and just be, striking out, free swinging. But
4 walks to 1
controlled.
strikeout.
Yeah, it's not just power. It's controlled power. He's barreling it up, picking the right pitches, and he's going the other way. Like that's exactly what you want from a hitter.
And it just falls. And I think he needs to play 60 more games in Sugarland or in Corpus, wherever they decide to put him.
I just don't think that. But put him in. For me, I don't know how you guys put it. For you, you said Corpus or AAA. Fuck Corpus Christi. Just go to AAA and get 60 games in.
Yeah, I mean,
for me, that's how I feel.
I'm just saying whatever. Like internally, I don't know.
Well,
what's going to be weighted more? Like what competition he's going to see better between AA or AAA, or schedule wise or travel. Like whatever's the highest variable, the hardest competition to maximize those 60 games. Do it. But I mean, if he kills camp, I know the discussion online. He's not going to break camp. I would probably at 10%. And I've said on here the whole Jackson Merrill mindset of like, hey, this guy is, I think Jackson had 140 games in the minors before he got called up. But if this guy's undeniable through camp, and I'm not like we've seen it before. We talked about it last week. The Justin Deardens, the guys that we all fell in love with, that had a great camp, and then like, hey, maybe he's gonna break camp, doesn't really pan out. But with his makeup, him being a Dana guy, the speed. Jake Bloss was doing taxes, and then all of a sudden
he was in Double A, and then they brought him straight up.
Doctorate degree, and all of a sudden he's pitching in the show, and then part of a trade, to get Kikuchi. So we know Dana is who Dana is.
Yeah.
To us to say right here, like, oh well, Cam Smith's not going to play at all in the show in 2025. I would say no, that's false. Like we know who Dana Brown is, and if you're a Dana Brown guy and you're showing that you could play, why not? And now the discussion is if you have 3 guys in the Tucker trade, the Paredes, Wisniewski, and now Cam Smith accruing major league time and accumulating positive WAR, you kind of got to say, hey, you won the trade, regardless if Tuck puts up 7 WAR and MVP for the Cubs, because you got 3 guys that are pushing the ball down the field for you this year. Man, I've been obviously small sample size. But the approach is great. Obviously the power. His outs are loud. Like everything has just been a pitcher perfect start. And he's from West Palm. His family's there for like every game. I'm excited.
Yeah, I just think when I look at just the small sample size so far for Cam Smith is the strikeouts and walks, right? Only 1 strikeout, 4 walks, and he's not just up there flailing at every single pitch. Like the pitch selection has been pretty good. Like you said, the approach has been good. He's catching a lot of barrels. The makeup seems to be there. But then you also have to think about some of these other prospects. I said it to you guys before we came on camera. They already reassigned Jacob Melton. Jacob Melton is a highly ranked guy for the Astros and has been over the last couple of years. We said his name so many times last year. When is Jacob Melton getting called up? When are they going to give him some run? When are they going to give him some run? Coming into this spring training, is Jacob Melton going to make the big league squad? No, they've already reassigned him. They have not reassigned Cam Smith yet. So that shows me that they want more big league at-bats, more big league camp time, be around more of these guys, and there's still a slight chance. Until they reassign him, there's still a chance.
Yeah.
I don't care that he hasn't played outfield.
Might be 5%.
I don't care if the infield is full. there is still a small chance,
the
even
infield's
if it's
not
5%.
full.
Yeah, like that's the whole thing.
So
Because Brendan Rodgers was a Gold Glover. We talked about him last time. He has a chance to break camp, right?
Yeah.
So you've got Mauricio Dubon, Brendan Rodgers, Isaac Paredes, Jeremy Pena, John Singleton, Christian Walker. Like, those are your main guys, but there's still a chance, whether people online like it or not. And really, like, some of these people are so gung-ho on he's not going to make the roster. He's not going to make the opening day roster. Do you know who the general manager is? Dana Brown loves young prospects.
Yeah.
Like, he will move people up quick.
If he thinks Cam Smith can provide more to your team at third base with Isaac Paredes at second base than Mauricio Dubon or Brendan Rodgers can provide your team, then he's going to do it. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Yeah, exactly. And then I think there's also the aspect of everyone wants to talk about the service time, the clock, extra year of control.
Now you're
all that
incentivized.
stuff.
If you get the rookie of the year, you get that extra first round pick. So I mean, what's a first round pick at 2025 or 2026? Like, if he's your guy, go get it.
Yeah.
I guess it's really come down to that last bench spot, and it's going to be between DeZenzo, Guillermo, whatever, Rodgers, and I guess you got to throw Cam Smith's hat in there
until he's reassigned.
Until he's reassigned.
Until he's reassigned, he has a chance. Like,
because Carantini's gonna have a bench spot, Gamble's gonna have a bench spot. Singleton is leaning to that third bench spot. So that fourth bench spot is are you gonna just run Dubon as your everyday second baseman, or are you gonna platoon? So if he's your everyday second baseman, that value for Rodgers and Guillermo go down, and so it rises for DeZenzo. Is it DeZenzo versus Cam Smith?
Well,
in 3 weeks' time, it might be. And I still like DeZenzo. I think DeZenzo is a.
I think you will see DeZenzo play outfield this year for the Astros.
Yeah,
I think you will. I know they're very high on him. Joe Espada talked about it. He's talked about DeZenzo in the outfield. There's a reason why DeZenzo, when he went down to Puerto Rico or Cuba, I think he played in
Dominican
Cuba.
League?
Dominican League, whichever league he played in. There's a reason he went down there and played outfield.
Yeah.
Because whoever in the organization, whether it's Joe Espada, whether it's Dana Brown, I see the wheels turning.
No, it's
There's
just
a reason.
It's funny, like when you're saying that out loud, it kind of click. Like, I'm trying to put myself in like DeZenzo shoes. Like, hey, I'm finally up in the show. It was a small cup of coffee. You know, I'm doing everything right. There's clear. I can get playing time in the outfield, and then you do all that, and then you go, hey, our face of the franchise, Hall of Famer, is moving from second base to go to left field. He's got to be thinking. I mean, I know he's an ultra competitor, but as a human being, you're just like, damn it, what do I have to do?
He was looking at the outfielders on the depth chart. He was like, oh, I have a real shot.
Definitely got a shot.
Last year was first base, right? It was a mixture of Carantini, Diaz, Singleton. And it was like, hey, I have a shot there. Hey, dude.
Hey, Zach, by the way, man.
We just got a perennial Gold Glover. Give him $30 million a year.
Jose Altuve is going to move to left field. I'm sorry, who? Yeah, Jose Altuve is moving to left field, and you're like,
so
fuck!
I mean, does he get run at second?
Yeah. Do what?
He's too big.
Who?
I said, does he get run at second?
Yeah, he's too big.
Yeah.
He's a corner guy.
He's too big.
He's a left field, right field, third base, first base, I think. So, and also there's another guy that Shea Whitcomb probably not going to make the opening day roster. Yeah. He's another guy that was highly talked about last year.
I think all of this is, like we've said multiple times, this is the most competitive spring we've had in a while.
It's good.
So much is going to change in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And also, like, the team that breaks camp by Cinco de Mayo, that team's going to change. There's going to be injuries up and down. Like, obviously you want to break camp and get those big league paychecks right off the jump, but like it's going to change.
Why'd you choose Cinco de Mayo?
It was an indicator. March 27th is game one. I was just giving a 5-week window of games.
Oh man, kind of a hint of something there. Don't you think, Josh?
It was just a 5 week. It was just a 5-week window.
I mean, no comment.
It's just a 5-week window.
I mean, Dez grows out a mustache, and now all of a sudden you want to talk about Cinco de Mayo. What do you mean by that, man? Why do you have a hat on today, by the way?
Because it's the storms. I didn't have time to put product in.
Oh, product.
Time to go get his perm.
Huh?
My hair's all puffy today.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Let's watch some ball, man. Let's watch.
Yeah, we got some highlights of Cam Smith.
So are you putting this on the YouTube channel?
This will be on the.
Yeah.
This will be on the clip. Hey, I just want you guys to watch this.
He looks like Carlos Correa when he swings.
Well, I mean,
now he
yeah, I
finishes.
mean,
Des really took that from you, huh?
Yeah, he always did. I said it. We're here in the dungeon, of course, and I said it before we went on camera, and I said, man, he really looks like Carlos Correa. And Des said, dude, I'm going to say it on the podcast. I mean, here we
exactly how
go.
he said
So you be
it.
the judge. I said he looks like Carlos Correa. Des agrees as well, and so does producer Josh. So let's check it out. Cam Smith. Wow. What a good, what a laser to right center. I'd crush a big wave right now. Oh, they're so
Look
good.
how he glides on his home run trot too. It's a good home run trot.
That's Cam Smith. Home run to right center. He's a monster, dude. Yeah.
1-1.
Oh.
Smith hits it high in the air, pretty deep to center. De Los Santos going back toward right center field at the wall and make it 2 home runs.
Wide over the Daikin sign, huh?
Yeah.
Cam Smith.
Another ball to right center.
That dude's been everywhere.
The Astros' #1 prospect putting on a show this afternoon.
I like it.
Hey, he didn't even get that one. That's how strong he is. That's
Yeah.
how quick his hands are. That's how
Dude, that ball's
athletic
middle.
Cam Smith is.
Just got
Go
under.
back.
Shot to
Can you go
deep.
back
That's how quick his
and
hands
just kind of
are. That's
see if
how
you can
athletic Cam Smith is.
Pause it like
A shot to deep right center.
right. I don't know if you'll be able to do it. I mean, dude, I just want just the locate. Look at that Correa swing too, man.
If I gave you an over under of 1.5 WAR on the season for Cam Smith. Under?
Just because of game time. That's asking a lot.
I think it's under.
Okay.
I don't think he breaks camp. I don't think he.
No, I don't think he breaks camp. But like even if he came up in June or July, like that's
That's even more impressive. If he did 1.5 WAR and came up in June.
yeah, 1.5.
This is what I think is going to happen. This could be a hot take if you want. I think you will have Isaac Paredes starting at third base. You will have between Brendan Rodgers and Mauricio Dubon at second. But you will see a time during the season where the second base position will struggle, and then we will hear murmurs of Cam Smith gets brought up, plays third base, Isaac Paredes moves over to second base. I don't know when it will be. I don't know if it'll be June. I don't know if it'll be August. There will be a stretch where the second base position struggles offensively, and you're going to hear it. I'm just telling you.
It would be unprecedented if he broke camp.
I don't think
he
he
has
breaks
115 at-bats in
Yeah.
the minors.
He needs more time. It's great to do what we're doing right now.
I mean,
but the reality is the kid needs more time.
Where look at Jackson Merrill's minor league. Did he play in AA or AAA before he got called up?
I think he played a total of 150.
I mean, it'd be pretty parallel if.
So Cam Smith is 22 years old. Did Jackson Merrill play?
Yeah,
I don't think he played college ball.
Yes, I mean if you include
Jackson Merrill went out of high school
in
in 2021,
and then he played how many games in the minors?
He had 800 at bats in the minors.
So he had like barely over a full season in the minors, straight out of high school. That's crazy.
Wow, that's pretty.
So
impressive.
this is I guess the equivalent. Jackson Merrill in 21 played 31 games after he got drafted out of high school, rookie ball. 2022 he played 55 games.
Single A?
2023 rookie ball and then high A. 2023 he played 114 games in the minors. He only played 46 games in Double A.
What was that
before he
in
got
Double
called
A?
up.
Double A is the highest he went.
Double A is the highest.
I mean, that's
Jackson
pretty
Merrill
close to Cam. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Cam probably plays 40 games in the minors this year and then gets called up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I think it's like
I just
5%.
We can sit here and talk about this all the time. Just remember who the GM is.
Yeah.
And remember what he did before this.
He called him an aircraft carrier and said he'll
For
be
a
up
reason.
sooner rather than later.
He knows how to evaluate talent. That's what he's a scout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a scout at heart. Yes, he's being the general manager here for the Astros, but everything else he's done, he's been a scout, right? Player development scout. He loves prospects. He loves minor league guys. He loves moving people up quick. So if Cam Smith does well at AA or AAA and there's any chance that he gets brought up, someone struggles at the big league level, I think we see Cam Smith at some point this season. Don't know how long he's up. I don't think he breaks camp. But again, Dana Brown is the general manager, and we've seen it before.
Well,
Jake Bloss got brought up from AA.
I also
Yeah.
think, and you nail it with your diagnosis of all, but I also think having this conversation on March 4th after seeing a perennial MVP voter get traded, right?
Mm-hmm.
And look, Paredes is going to be solid, right? He's 25 to 35 home run pop. Hayden's going to give you 120 innings with the strikeouts. But the real crown jewel of that trade was Cam Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And we're already talking in March
Yeah.
about he could, I mean, we've all collectively said it's a low percentage chance of breaking camp, but being in the show in 2025 at some point, that is when you zoom out and look at it like that, like after the like that's exciting. Like usually some of the like, oh yeah, hey, we got, you know, 2 or 3 prospects in this trade for Tucker. You hope one of them pans out. All 3 could pan out at a very high level, and the other guy being an absolute stud for you for a very, very long time. Like,
let me ask this question then: who accumulates more WAR, Kyle Tucker or the 3 players he was traded for this season?
Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker's pretty good.
You think so?
I think it'll be close.
Paredes
I think
will be probably around 4. Hayden can maybe get 2. You know, hopefully.
That's 6.
And then, you know, if Cam
Smith
gets you like, well, it's going to be close.
I would think it'd be Kyle Tucker just for the simple fact of we really don't know if Cam Smith's going to make it up or not. Make it up to the big leagues or not. But either way, like like you said, Des, just the fact that we're talking about this, where all 3 of the guys that you traded Kyle Tucker for could make an impact on the big league squad.
Immediately.
2 of them will make impacts.
Right.
Yeah. Because Wesneski's probably going to be number 5 in the rotation.
Yeah.
At least until Lance gets back. And then at that point, you go to a six man.
Yeah.
Fuck, could you imagine if you had the luxury of having a 6-man all season long?
No,
Fuck, that's unprecedented.
You get to ease in Luis, you get to ease in Lance.
Yeah.
Obviously, you take the pressure out of all the other guys on their own.
Ronell wasn't going to be run down to the dirt.
Eric
like
Getty as well. Like,
I mean, when you really zoom out of the 2024 season, boys were on fumes.
Yeah.
The boys were on,
and they still did their job, and
they
still did their job against the Tigers.
Yeah.
The Astros just couldn't knock guys in.
Kyle Tucker, 4.7 WAR projected on Fangraphs.
I think Paredes.
I think they're at that number.
And a little bit of Cam Smith can get over that.
Yeah.
You guys are big WAR guys today, huh?
Yeah. It's a baseball stat.
Yeah, no, wins above replacement. What are you thinking, dude?
Yeah. No,
what do you mean by that?
Do you fuck with the WAR?
Do you fuck with the WAR? Do you fuck with the WAR?
Hey,
I know with Pangea?
We're coming up on time. You spent some time over at Dyken Park, man. How'd it look? You know, with the College Classic.
Yeah, College Classic was in
signage,
town.
Man, is it up? Is it down? I mean, what we got?
There's got to be some work done in the next 3 weeks. We're running some overtime crews, a lot of signage, still saying Minute Maid. You got to get the field a little torqued up a bit too. I guess they had some sand down. They also had that golf event that too.
I did see that. Yeah, and I remember, was it last year, year prior? I remember I spoke with somebody within the organization, and they were not happy because those balls destroy the outfield.
Yeah,
because they're hitting from the upper deck and coming straight down, and usually everything's soft because of the time of year, and it just
a little aeration late in the season. A little aeration.
Yeah.
A lot of signage that needs to be done in and around the park. I don't know if it's new, but I stumbled upon it for the first time. There's a new chicken tender place. No free ads right behind home plate.
Is it I Love Tenders thing or whatever? The one that was up in the mezzanine? Or is it a different place?
It's a different one.
Oh, wow.
You think Dez goes in the mezzanine?
I know. Well, I was just saying,
Mezzanine wasn't even open
about it, but he wouldn't know.
Well, no, I'm gonna
Last
pull
time
the
Des
name.
was in the mezzanine was 2021 when we went for the World Series.
I actually like the
the
mezzanine section.
He likes the Michelob Ultra Club.
Yeah, he likes the Ultra Club.
I will say this: it is called Tenders Love and Chicken.
Yeah, that was up in the mezzanine.
Yeah, now it's down below.
Us poors were eating that past couple of years.
Okay, so
late, dog.
It may be new, it may not be new.
Josh is up there.
Don't come to the marketplace of tenders if you don't know what you're talking about.
Wow, dude. Damn. There's your clip.
Tenders is my
chicken tenders is your game.
Yeah, it's my game.
We know that.
You are. I know every
chicken tender in that stadium.
I will say For $20. Yes,
It's
I know
great.
it's $20.
It's good.
Phenomenal. I didn't even
it's a
like
lot-
it was a
it's
lot of food.
A chicken tender basket.
It was
with fries.
It was 5 tenders, fries, and then they have like 10 sauces, but they have little sauce holders in your box.
That's key.
So
man.
like
It's like equivalent with like how much food you would get at Cane's for that amount of money. Like in a
I
stadium.
think it's more.
Yeah,
I think it was more.
Like in a stadium.
It was
it's the
fresh.
most
Did it come with a
filling
drink
thing
with
you
that?
get.
No, I had to buy like a $6 smart water. That's the only money Jim Crane got out of me this weekend. Was that $6 smart water? Use it for the Cam Smith extension fund.
Let's start on that now. Start saving up for that now.
Let's start saving
They
up for that
still
now.
won't sign him anyways.
But yeah, the signage is a real
it's a problem, huh?
problem. It's a problem. I they'll get it dialed in. Hopefully.
Well, I mean, it still says Minute Maid Park outside of the
Yep.
stadium, so
Yep.
gotta get that
There's-
figured out.
And then they had the roof open, and I tweeted about it, and I'll keep saying it. From March to April. No, March to May, roof open.
They should be.
Should
It's
be
beautiful right now.
And you don't have to worry about people complaining about the air conditioning because the wind whips through Minute Maid Park.
Yeah.
And you needed a jacket for this entire week. Even the day games, you needed a jacket. Just open the roof.
Yeah.
Like if opening day game, and it's perfect weather, and the roof is not open, I will absolutely lose it. And now that I'm saying it out loud, Daikin Park has like they put their logo on top of the roof.
yeah,
They're gonna
top of the
have
roof.
the roof closed.
It's gonna be closed.
It's gonna be closed.
It'll be
for the
closed
flyover.
95% of the season.
I know.
Minute Maid Park is a middle to back end tier park
Yeah.
When it's closed.
when it's closed.
Yeah.
It's top 15.
For sure. Top
When
10
the
I would
roof
say
is
when
open.
When it's
Yeah.
open. Yeah.
That's
On a
top
beautiful
12.
day in Houston.
Yeah, beautiful day in Houston.
With wind
High sky,
blowing.
blue, wind blowing. Minute Maid Park, Tops Drop is a beautiful sight.
Yeah.
It's an absolute beautiful sight. Other than that, it was good to see some ball games in Daikin Park.
Where should we go for opening day?
Well, you should be going throughout March for March Madness.
Yeah. Oh,
to
yeah.
Big
March
City
Madness.
Wings.
Yeah.
March Madness coming around. Houston's Wing Joint, Paul's Wing Joint. Today is Tuesday, so you have the 2 for special burger. Wednesday, Thursday is a 2 for special as well. The Gridiron special. March Madness coming up. The conference tournaments coming up before that. I think that's this weekend, next weekend.
Conference tournaments next. Well,
I think it's
it might
next
be,
week.
actually, it might be this weekend.
I think they start this weekend and then go into next week. So head over to Big City Wings. Tell them the Apollo boys sent you. And then Zing Zang. You Zing. We Zang. We have some stuff here. We have the Blazing Bloody Mary mix. Comes with the vodka already in. 9% alcohol. Damn. The Michelada mix. You a Mitchie guy?
March 11th, the Big 12 tournament starts, so a week from today.
You just
Love a good michelada.
add beer?
Yeah.
Bold Zing Zang taste.
Blazing Bloody Mary mix with vodka as well. And the margarita mix. That's what the one I use personally because I'm not a big Bloody Mary guy, but when I am, I'm a Zing Zang guy.
Yeah,
so
of course.
You Zing, we Zang.
Damn right.
Other than that, we will have a live show Friday. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully, Cam Smith hits home run. We talk about it.
Hopefully.
Friday.
Oh, hey, by the way, Jose Altuve
Yeah, I was
is going
about
to be
to
your
say.
everyday left
Jose
fielder.
Altuve, everyday left fielder.
Real quick, do you know how many calls we got on the radio station this morning with their concerns that Altuve is too short to play outfield?
I mean, there's concerns for him to be in the outfield, but his height is not one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the lowest. Yeah.
I said, like, how about like a
Arm?
jump into
Jumping.
like his jump, not jumping physically,
Jumps
like
on the ball,
hit
first
the
step.
jump on the route and jump on reading the ball off the bat. How about that? How about the arm strength?
Yeah.
I think
communicating
the
with the
biggest,
outfielders, like
the two biggest,
He's going to run into a fucking wall so many times.
or Jake may run him over.
hopefully Jake's playing in the KBO, but
He's a Gold Glove
Going
center
out
I
fielder.
don't care.
The one thing I'm worried
I know
about
he's a- I know
Altuve,
he's
the
an
one
elite
thing I'm worried
defender.
about Altuve is lefties balls away from him, slicing away,
Mm-hmm.
and then the righties top-spin.
The line drives hit directly at you are very hard to read.
Yeah, that
That
so
sucks.
there's 3 things right there, just off the top of the head.
He'll be fine though, and it has nothing to do with his height.
Yeah,
And our infield defense will be immaculate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and that'll make up for a lot of it.
yeah, he'll figure it out. It's all that's why you have the WAR. You figure out in the WAR in the aggregate.
Yeah.
I love the aggregate.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, gonna say.
All right. Thank you for watching and listening to Beyond the Diamond podcast. We will see you next time talking more spring training stuff. Peace.
It's almost go time.
Almost there.
Peace. Love you guys.